Good morning, everyone. It's Jeff Fitzpatrick and your weekly update on stocks and options. We're going to have a look at what's going on in the markets and what's good to buy and what's good to get out of. We'll also look at news and events around the market. Official news chart this week. On Monday, today, we have got at 2 o'clock this afternoon, the house market index. See what's going on in the housing market of the US. That's a reflection of the economy in general, and a score of 48 is expected. On Wednesday, we've got the Fed, the Federal Reserve, coming out with their latest economic forecast. There is no forecast on the effects of that on the market, so we'll have to wait and see what it does. And on Thursday, 12:30, we've got unemployment claims. Again, a reflection of the general economy in the US. And some company news. Fossil. Be very careful with Fossil. Fossil have dropped 97% in stock price. They're down at around 87, 90 cents or so. If they stay there for 30 consecutive days, the stock will get delisted. They may try and crawl out of that by having a stock split, but that won't change the value of the stock. Also, the major shareholders are getting pretty angry with the board of Fossil. They see them as having made some really basic mistakes. And at the recent call, the finance director couldn't answer or wouldn't answer basic questions about the results and about the accounts. He has, incidentally, put in place for himself a very nice golden parachute. So I'm steering well clear of Fossil and considering closing positions that I have on it. Then we have Southwest, LUV, Southwest Airlines. And due to not being able to get hold of planes from Boeing, they're reducing their forecast for the year. We've got Kroger. They have got a court date. A judge has set the 26th of August to start a hearing about the bid to block a $24.6 billion acquisition of Albertsons. Then we have American Eagle Outfitters, AEO. They've announced a new strategy for profitable growth over the next 3 years. However, at the same time, they took a $94 million impairment charge for their logistics business. And Gap, the retailer, GPS, they reported holiday earnings, that's Christmas holidays, had exceeded expectations, and the retailers saw a 6% increase in their brands of Old Navy sales. And its overall gross margin improved by 5.3 percentage points to 38.9%. The shares of Gap subsequently jumped by around 5% in subsequent trading. And now the indices. Let's see what happened last week. This takes the TICN stocks, all of them, the 162 that you find on the website, and looks at what happened to them since 31st of March 2020. That was the bottom of the market as a result of the pandemic. We also compare what's happened over the same period to the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones. The TICN stocks have gone from 100 to 247, so almost 150% increase. The S&P went up 98. That's just a 100% increase. The NASDAQ by a little bit more, 107, and the Dow Jones hasn't made it yet to that 100% increase. However, in the last week, all of the indices came down, and in fact, TICN came down by the most. In addition, of the 162 stocks that are listed in the TICN website, there are 31 now that have not made an improvement in their price since the 31st of March 2020. It says to me that there are stocks that should have been exited, and quite a lot of them, some time ago. Of course, none of these indices include option income, dividends, or interest held on cash. And if you put that into the estimate, we think that around 40% will be added to the TICN index. So it's not doing badly at all. I'm going to take you through my new filtering system for finding stocks that are worthy of considering for entry. The first thing I look at is the Value Line Timeliness score, and they score between 1 and 5, 1 being good. The maximum score I'm prepared to accept will be a 2. Then I move to the TICN quality and value scores. As far as quality is concerned, I'm using a 35 as my minimum. So not a 3 by 5, that could be 30, and not a 4 by 4 or 5. That would be perhaps a little bit too slack. So 35 out of 52 is my guideline. On the value score, I'm sticking with 40. A stock has to score at least 40 points out of 52 to get through the filter. And then I look at the risk to reward ratio. And basically, I'm using the 52-week high and the 52-week low. And I want to see the stock no more than 35% of the way between the low and the high. Then I look and check the earnings announcement. I don't really want to see earnings coming out within the next 2 weeks. If they are due, I would wait, look again at the score, and see what the effects of the earnings announcement was, and then make a new decision. And finally, price. I've got an upper maximum of $100 per share. I may be a little bit flexible on that. And also, I'm getting increasingly a bit nervous about the very cheap stocks. At the moment, I've probably got and thought about not going in for stocks at about $5 or less. And I may well alter that as things move forward. Now, my dance card. Of course, I have a dance card. These are stocks that I would like to play with and dance with at present, based on Friday's closing prices. Of course, the opposite is my kill list, but we'll come to that in a moment. So the two stocks that stand out this week are G, which is Genpact, and Match, which is, of course, the Tinder and other dating sites. They've both got decent value line timeless scores, 2 and 1. They both do well for quality and value on TICN, and they both do well on my new timing system, scoring 39 and 45 respectively. They were the highest scores that we saw. Their prices are okay, $33-ish, and the comments in value line are positive, and they don't use, well, Genpact has low stock buying power usage, which is great, and Match is medium, but none of them are too bad, or at least neither of them are too bad. The following stocks did well for timing, but are not necessarily value line 1 or 2 scorers or 4x4 stocks. However, if you're in them, it could be a good time to consider either getting out or selling a put to dilute your position. That would be ENR, PENN, Vale, ADM, Fox F, PAS, sorry, that's PAAS, WBD, and MODG. There are a huge number of stocks this week at the top of their range. And at that point, you might want to consider pulling out of them or perhaps selling a call to protect your position and protect your profit. There are too many to go through, but to mention probably the ones that are most in that situation: PGR, GPS, MDC, ACGL, KR, M, and eBay. In addition, I'm avoiding SSRM, who had the big mining problem, a landslide to be followed by a large legal suit and loss of their license for mining in Turkey, where the accident happened. EBS, who may well recover. They've got a new CEO in there, but not looking too great at the moment. That's Forest Research, FORR, who I know a couple of individual traders have had problems with, and Big Lots, the store company. And HA, that's Hawaiian Airways. That's also off my list at the moment, as it's trading sideways due to a pending takeover decision. Earnings to look out for this week. So there are more earnings due to be announced than we've got listed here. However, these are the ones that we're generally trading and involved with. So tomorrow, CTRN. Wednesday, we've got OLLI. a whole bunch on Thursday. I also look at next week because I'm looking 2 weeks ahead at earnings where we've got some more appearing then. In addition, listed on the earnings calendar are Pets and AU. They are now both overdue from the dates that they announced for earnings. So we don't know when they're coming out just yet, but that could be on any day. To mention our next training event, the training event that we had last weekend in the Sofitel Terminal 5 Heathrow went really, really well. People got a fantastic amount out of it. And the new flexible system of letting people book for just the Friday or just the Saturday or just the Sunday or any combination worked really well. So we're going back to the Sofitel Terminal 5 Heathrow, and we'll be there on the Friday evening, the 21st of June, Saturday the 26th, and Sunday the 23rd. This is available for booking now on the myinvestmentclub.co.uk website. It'd be great to see a lot of you there. Thanks very much for listening.